Hi VC, this is Aaron with Alamare, and today I am starting the W's in my collection. Should be, I think, 2 videos to complete my W's. I got quite a few, so I'll just get right into it. There's a lot of hard rock, a lot of heavy metal, a lot of classic rock, a few other things mixed in. But here we go. First up, I've got No Brakes by John Waite. He was the singer from the Babies, who were a really good band. This had the big hit "Missing You" on it, and you know, it's all right. He's a pretty decent singer. I like his Babies work better than his solo, but pretty good stuff. And then I have Mask of Smiles, second record by him, and this one's still sealed. And let's see, up next, this is a Rick Wakeman, The Six Wives of Henry VIII. Rick Wakeman's a amazing keyboardist, and this is a pretty good record here. I like this one. And I've also got Journey to the Center of the Earth from Rick Wakeman. And it's a gatefold. There's the other part of the gatefold, and then the label, just the A&M Records. And then I got a pretty good blues record here. This is T-Bone Walker, Long Distance Blues, Hidden Treasures, 1950 to 1954. I've been picking up blues reissues. When I see them, I'll pick up originals too, but they're hard to find around this part of the country. But yeah, this is a good blues record. And there's the label. Really good repress there. And then I got some Joe Walsh. This is his Barnstorm album. This is one of his better records. I really like this one. Got some really good stuff on it. Nice gatefold there. And yeah, this is, really good stuff here. Turn to Stone was on here. Really, that's a killer song. There's the label. And then I've got some The Smoker You Get, the player. The Smoker You Drink, the player you get. And there's the cover. And Joe Walsh and his band. There's the label there. And what did this have on it? This had Rocky Mountain Way. It's a great song. Happy Way. This is a really good album. Good one here. And I've got So What. This one had Trim to Stone as well. A little heavier version on this one. There's the label. Of course, Joe Walsh is a great guitarist. Went on to play with the Eagles. And he was in James Gang, I love James Gang. This is Joe Walsh recorded live. You Can't Argue with a Sick Mind. And there's the back. Bunch of good live stuff. We got the Best of Joe Walsh. And that's not a gatefold. Got a lot of great songs on here. Turn to Stone, Mother Says, Help Me Through the Night, Rocky Mountain Way, Walk Away is on here, Funk 49. So it's got some James Gang stuff too. A mixture of his and James Gang. And then I've got this, But Seriously Folks. And this has Life's Been Good to Me. That's a really good song. Good album here. There's the gatefold. And there's the label. And one more Joe Walsh. I've got There Goes the Neighborhood. Pretty cool cover there. And the label. And after Joe Walsh, I got some Wang Chung with Mosaic. There's some Wang Chung. Everybody have fun tonight. 80s pop. And here's a really good band here. This is The World is a Ghetto by War. I really love War. They're a great band. Killer album here. Cisco Kid's on this one. Yeah, they're a good band. And then I've got Deliver the Word. And this has kind of a cool cover. And then War's Greatest Hits. This is a really killer record. Got Low Rider, Cisco Kid, All Day Music, Slipping into Darkness is great. Yeah, good band. And then there's the label. And this is Where There's Smoke. And there's a label on that one. And then this is one of my favorite records of the late 60s, early 70s, whenever it was. It doesn't say on here, I don't think. But this is, I love this record. This is Eric Burdon Declares War. Killer record. Spill the Wines on this. But it's just, this is amazing. Roll on Kirk and Tobacco Road, and very good record here. And then I have one more Eric Burdon Declares War. This is Love Is All Around. Pretty good. It's not as good as that first one. That first one's a classic. There's the label there. And up next I got a more modern metal band called War Beast with Destroy. Pretty good band. They're kind of a power metal, border thrash, power metal type. There's the vinyl there. And it's produced by Phil Anselmo, the singer from Pantera. Produced this. I think he produced both of theirs. I have another one too. Yeah. This is called Enter the Arena, the War Beast. Really good band. And that's just black vinyl here. And next up we got Warhead, and this is Speedway. And I just got this, I got a few here that I just got in that big collection I got. This is one of them. Pretty cool label there, Mausoleum Records. And here's a great band. This is Warlock with Triumph and Agony. Unfortunately, it's my only Warlock record. I'd like to get more of them. Great German power metal band. This is probably their most commercial album they did. It's got the single All We Are on it, which was a pretty big hit on the Mercury. Yeah, this whole album's great though. Doro Pesch, the lead singer, is a great singer, and they're a really good band. You know, their Kiss of Death is good. Touch of Evil, East Meets West, great album. And then some Warlord video soundtrack and the Cannons of Destruction Have Begun. Another one I just got recently. And there's the label. And it includes a lyric sheet, which I like. I like when they put lyric sheets. I love lyrics. One of my favorite things to do is just sit there and read the lyrics when I'm listening to an album. Sometimes it makes you know, it'll turn a really good album into a great album when you get the lyrics and, you know, like that. And then here is a warning. And here's the label of that, Polydor. And another blues record here. This is J.W. Warren with Life Ain't Worth Living. It's a really good series they do, George Mitchell series. And he's been putting, there's a whole blues series he's been putting out, and it's all really good, obscure stuff, good stuff. And this is the only record I have of this band. For some reason, I never got their official releases. This is Greatest and Latest from Warrant. So I need to get, you know, Cherry Pie and Dirty Rotten Filthy Stinkin' Rich, of course, and Dog Eat Dog. But I don't think Dog Eat Dog was released. But what this is like a best of them, but they re-recorded all the songs, and I don't really like I don't think they sound nearly as good as the originals. A lot of the bands were doing that, re-recording their stuff like in the 2000s so they could re-release it without having the record company interference. So, and then here's a band called Warrior Fighting for the Earth. Pretty good band, straightforward metal from the 80s. Pretty good stuff. And now I'm up to one of my favorite bands ever. This is one of the bands that got me into heavy metal. I've loved them since their since I got into them during their third album and instantly got the first album at the same time. So those are kind of my introduction to this band. And it's still one of my favorite bands. This is Wasp, self-titled album. Great record. This is an all-time classic heavy metal record. And this is autographed. I bought this from a friend of mine, and I was lucky to get it. I love this, one of my favorite records ever. You know, it's that Sleeping in the Fire, and I Want to Be Somebody, and Love Machine, and The Flame, and, you know, great. On Your Knees, The Torture Never Stops, Tormentor. Amazing record. Love that record. And I also have this reissue that sounds really good. But the original has a little more punch, I'll have to say. But this sounds good too. And this is on red vinyl, kind of hot pink red. Pretty cool. And then I've got 2 copies of this. This is Animal. And this is actually the first thing they did, but I got the black vinyl here. And then I have it again. And this is on the reddish pink vinyl. And then their second full-length record, The Last Command. Great record as well. It's got, you know, Blind in Texas and Wild Child and Widowmaker, Last Command, you know, killer record. And for the first 2 records, Blackie Lawless was playing bass, the singer. And then I've got the repress of Last Command. This sounds amazing. Did a really good job on this, and this is on the same reddish vinyl they like to use. And I've got, this is my favorite record by them, very underrated. A lot of people don't like it because they had 2 cover songs, but it's Inside the Electric Circus. And this is the first album that got me into Wasp, this and then the first one. But I just love this record. From the big welcome to, you know, when it goes Inside the Electric Circus, it's so killer. And then they do I Don't Need No Doctor and Easy Living are the 2 covers on here, and they do them really well. But the really good stuff is like Restless Gypsy and Shoot from the Hip and 95 Nasty and Mantronic. Sweet Cheetah is one of my favorites, and I'm Alive is killer. Really, I just love this record. This is on blue vinyl. It sounds amazing. Really killer sounding version. And up next, I got a really killer live record, Wasp Live in the Raw. One of my favorite live records. They do a really good track list. And they do what's the song? The Manimal, that's killer. It's only on this. Scream Until You Like It. It's a studio song. It's only on this from Ghoulies too. But Harder Faster is really good. Killer record. And then I've got the Scream Until You Like It single, 12-inch single. And it has Shoot from the Hip and Sleeping in the Fire on the B-side. 2 great songs. And of course these 12-inch singles sound really good. And here's another great, this is an all-time classic record here too. This is the Headless Children. Original press of this. When I was back in my cassette era phase, during this time I was buying mainly cassettes because I could take them with me and play them for people. That's my big thing. I like introducing people to music. So, but this is one of the few that I specifically ordered on vinyl because I wanted it on vinyl. There's a few. I did this and Dangerous Toys and a few others. That's a great record. And then up next I've got a picture disc of the Crimson Idol. Really killer concept record. Kind of a change in sound for them, but it's really good. And there's the one side is the white and one side is the red picture disc. And that's a really killer album. Crimson Idol is really good. And then I have this Chainsaw Charlie Murders in the New Morgue 12-inch. And it's got a song called Phantoms in the Mirror that's not on any record on it. And also there's a whole story that goes with the Crimson Idol. This is the story of Jonathan Part 1. So half of the story that they have printed out that you can read, it's narrated. And there it is. It came with 3D glasses, but I've lost them over the years. I don't know what happened to them. And then I've got this best of called First Blood, Last Cuts. Killer best of record here. I'll be using this in another video pretty soon, I imagine. And yeah, it's got everything up to the Crimson Idol, all the best, their hits, if you call them hits. And then I've got, I'm missing a couple Wasp, I need to get all of them, but the next one I have is Eldorado. Pretty good record here. I prefer their Crimson Idol earlier, but all their other stuff's good too. The same vinyl they like to use. Yeah, this is good, some good stuff. Cocaine Cowboys is really good. Damnation Angels. Yeah, they're good. It's all Wasp stuff's good. And then I have another compilation of them. This is the best of the best. It's a double record. On a gatefold. And it's cool on this, he does a cover song of Saturday Night's Alright for Fighting. It's a really good cover, actually. And I'd never heard it until I heard it on this. And this has stuff up to Eldorado. There's the track list if you're interested. And I think it's on black wax, yep. Custom labels. And my last Wasp I have is Golgotha. This is a really good record. I love this one. A few years old, but I believe this is the last one they've released. All the lyrics in there, and it's on a double vinyl, black wax, custom labels. Yeah, this is a great album though, really killer. It's on Napalm Records. And I've got another blues album next. Is the Best of Muddy Waters. The repress, but it sounds really good. It's the only Muddy Waters I actually have, so I'm happy to have this. And these custom labels, and these represses they've been doing sound really good. This one's killer sounding. And up next, I've got a progressive metal band from the 80s, but they're still going now actually. But this is kind of an early 80s, and this is Watchtower with Demonstrations in Chaos. It's a double record. It's basically about, I think it's 2 or 3 EPs they did, and demos and stuff. And there's the vinyl. They both look like this. And this is Jason McMaster from Dangerous Toys, his band before he was in Dangerous Toys. And this has the Boss recordings from 1983, demo recording from 87, rehearsal recordings from 86, and a live recording from 85, and another live from 83. And so it's just a compilation of all their stuff, because they never really put out an album when he was in the band. But there's the list, track list there. But this is really killer, progressive, heavy metal. Really heavy, really progressive, and Jason McMaster is a killer singer. So that's really cool. And then I bought this. This is a more current album of them. This is Concept of Math Book 1. Very good record, very progressive, kind of Dream Theater vein, I'd say. There's the label, and this is the band now. It's all the original members except Jason McMaster. They have a different singer. And the lyrics. That's really good. If you haven't heard Watchtower and you like Dream Theater or stuff like that, give them a try. That you probably like them. Kind of Dream Theater, Rush, all that progressive. They're really good. And then here's Wasted with Vices. And this is Pete Way, who just passed away recently. That's too bad. He was a founder of Fastway, and he's been in a lot of bands. Pete Way. Good stuff here. And up next I've got some Bob Welch with French Kiss. He was a guitarist for Fleetwood Mac in between Peter Green and Lindsey Buckingham. So he's a pretty good musician. And then I've got one more Bob Welch. This is Three Hearts. Those are both pretty good albums. The 80s. I think they're 80s. No, 70s. They're mid-70s. So there you go. And then this band here is called Wheatfield, and they're kind of a folk pop, type stuff. Pretty folky, pretty good stuff. I think they're from Canada, but I'm not sure. And last up, I got this Jack White record, Lazaretto. And this is a really unique record. I'm sure a lot of you know it, but for the people that haven't seen it, I'll show it. Jack White from the White Stripes and Raconteurs. I really like their records, but this album is really unique. The first side here plays on a reverse groove, so you start it in the middle, and it plays out. And it's on a shiny finish. The second side's on a black, like a flat finish, almost like the 78s were. And this has a dual groove at the beginning of the first song. So you'll put the needle down, and it'll either play an acoustic version going into the song intro or an electric one, depending on where the needle hits. And then once it gets into the main part of the song, then the grooves combine, so it goes into one song. And on the labels here, this side here and right here, they actually have grooves in there, and one of them plays at 45 RPMs, and the other side plays at 78 RPMs. So there's actually little mini songs in the labels, and then there's a hologram when you're playing. I'll see if you can see that. It's got a hologram on there, but you can't see it very well in this lighting. When you have it on the turntable and it's spinning, it's got like three angel holograms on there, angel type things. You can kind of see it there. You can really see it when it's playing a lot better. So, but it's on there. pretty cool. So that's a really good record, and it's pretty unique. And I got it for really cheap too, so that was cool. And okay, there's the first half of my W's. The next half will be a lot of hard rock and heavy metal, because there's all the bands that start with Waite. There's a whole bunch of them. And all right, well, thanks for watching, everybody, and rock on, keep rocking.